What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bond's Box. I'm Bond, and today we're finally checking out some Destiny 2 running on Google Stadia. So obviously, if you watched my other video and read the comments, you'll know I didn't have my invite code right away. And then when I finally did get my invite code, messed around with it a bit, came back the next day to record some footage. Destiny 2 was down for basically the whole day. But yeah, here we are now. We finally got some footage, and this is the Scarlett Keep strike running through Stadia. And we're gonna talk about some of my initial impressions of it, of the Stadia thing also. So this footage is all running through the Stadia app on PC. Chromecast has HDCP on it, so I wasn't able to capture footage through that, which is annoying because from my experience with it, the resolution has been more stable on the Chromecast, but here we go. This is the best I could do. The one thing I was worried about with all this streaming game stuff from the start, obviously for anybody with an internet cap or like a data cap, don't even touch this thing. It'll chew up your data like nothing else. But for anybody without a data cap, I don't have one, so I'm able to try it out. It's not a huge issue, but the main thing for me that I was worried about was input lag. I thought, like, how could you possibly have a game on a server somewhere and have like minimal response time? And I'm actually kind of blown away that it's no different for me than on my LG C6 OLED TV, which I know isn't the greatest response TV out there, and it's kind of old now. So if you're playing on like a 1 millisecond monitor, you probably would notice a difference. But for me, I have not noticed a difference at all in the input lag, which is incredible. And obviously this game is running at 60 frames, unlike the 30 that I'm used to on Xbox. So that was kind of nice. And yeah, the biggest problem I've seen so far is the resolution, and I'm not really sure why. When I first started it up, it looked flawless, and then 30 minutes later, I haven't been able to get the connection to say anything better than good, which seems to make it a little bit pixely. I don't know if it'll show up in this video because it's not a huge problem, but if you're a pure graphics kind of, a graphics purist and you want the absolute best quality picture, maybe my internet just isn't good enough. I have 200 megs down and around 20 up, and I don't know, I couldn't get it to get past good again, so I'm not really sure what that was about. But just in general, if you got other people in your house that want to start streaming Netflix or whatever using the internet, it's obviously going to hamper your experience a little bit, unless you have some insane internet like gigabit or something. Then then maybe it wouldn't be. If you're living on your own in like a house or something, and it's not, if you're living in like an area where there's a lot of houses and lots of people that use the internet, at peak times, it might start getting a little bit slower. So that could, if you're only looking to play at peak times, then you might also hit a problem. But like I said, even with the resolution dips, the input lag was non-existent for me, which is insane. I might try and film a video showing the input lag on my end, with like a camera, show my hands on the controller as well as the screen. I don't know, I haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, it's actually really surprised me. I was not expecting a whole lot from this. I bought the Founders Edition out of A, curiosity, because I'd never seen anything like this before, and I wanted to see if it would actually work, and B, to make videos for you guys who perhaps as curious as I was. And yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised. Like I said, if you're a graphics purist, then I'd probably stick with the hardware in your house, like your PC or your Xbox One X or whatever. I'd say Destiny looked better on my Xbox One X than it does on Stadia. But again, that's all down to internet connection and what you have. So if you have something, a 10 meg connection, then you're probably not going to get anything higher than like 720p. Your input lag might be a lot worse than what I had, and so it's definitely your mileage may vary type of service, as you would expect for anything internet based. But yeah, so with Google Pro or Stadia Pro, whichever it's called, which you get 3 months with the Founders Edition. I believe you get it with the Premier Edition as well, could be wrong. You get Destiny 2 The Collection, which is all of Destiny up to this point. So you got, the base game, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, all the annual pass stuff, which is free now anyway, Forsaken and Shadowkeep. And I believe you get the season stuff as well. And even with all that, everybody having everything who owns Stadia, the game is pretty dead. So I know we're in the Founders period right now for the next 3 months or whatever, until everybody else can just log in and play. So once that happens, maybe the servers will become more populated because it is free to play. And Stadia is obviously free. Once it's available to everybody, you won't have to buy the Founders Edition or whatever. You'll just be able to log into Stadia, make an account. Obviously if you want the controller, it would be more, but you can use, if you're on, for example, the PC app, you can use your keyboard and mouse, you can use whatever controller you want, whatever. If you want to use it with Chromecast, you will have to get the Stadia controller. I don't think any other Bluetooth controllers work with it, could be wrong on that, I haven't tried. But yeah, once that happens, hopefully the servers will become more popular. But as it is right now, Destiny 2 is basically dead on there. I haven't been able to find a multiplayer match. I went to the tower and was the only person standing there. I looked in the roster and it was just me. As you'll see in this strike footage that we've been running this whole time, there's nothing, no one. The strike is match made and people can join in and leave whenever they want during it. And nobody joins the whole time, it's just me there the whole time playing a solo strike. And like I said, at the moment everybody who has Stadia has Destiny 2 The Collection, so it's not like they don't have Shadowkeep and don't have this strike. Everybody on Stadia has everything as it is right now. So yeah, it's a little bit of a weird decision, I guess, because it seemed like Destiny 2 was like the kind of flagship game of Stadia. It's the one that you always see advertised with it because it was the first game coming out and you got it for free and everything with it. So it seemed weird to have that as like the first game, the big game you're making a big deal out of, when there's not going to be many people on the service to populate the game. I think you would have been much better having a single player focused game or something like that. But that is what it is, I suppose. There's plenty in Destiny you can enjoy solo. You can play the strikes, you can play the story, you can play the patrols and the public events would probably be pretty hard solo, some of them. But it would be very lonely in those patrol spaces without other people running around, I think. But, lost sectors, I suppose, those as well. So there is lots, there's lots of story missions to do now at this point in the life cycle. As you'll see in this footage, I've obviously played this game a whole bunch on Xbox. You'll see that for my level or whatever. So I do have something to compare it to. So maybe if you were coming into this without having played any Destiny 2 before, the visual quality dipping or whatever maybe wouldn't be a huge deal, because you're not, I play on the Xbox One X, so I have the X enhancements, the 4K and all that stuff, and it looks super crispy clean on there. So maybe if you didn't have that to compare it to, you wouldn't notice it as much as I did, just hopping straight over to it from my Xbox. And yeah, I don't think I have too much else to say right now on Stadia. It's definitely a lot more promising than I thought it would be. Like I said, I thought input lag would just kill it right out the gates, but they've obviously managed to figure out what kind of voodoo they've done to make that work is insane. I haven't tried xCloud yet. I know they're beta testing that right now, so I haven't tried that. I don't know if that's... I'd imagine it's the same thing. They've obviously figured out a way to make this work, and it's incredible. I'm still not entirely comfortable with having my games. It's one thing, like I was never comfortable with the whole digital thing about that you buy it digitally and then they can just take it away whenever they want basically, and you don't have the physical thing in your hand. I was never fully comfortable with that, but this is a whole nother step further where it's like you don't even have it on your hard drive in your house, you have it on a server somewhere. That server's gone, so's your games. And with Stadia, obviously, it's not like a Netflix type thing where the only 2 games you can play right now for free, and that's if you have Stadia Pro, which is, well, everybody has Stadia Pro right now because the Founders Edition came with it, but the only 2 games is Destiny 2 and Samurai Showdown, which I don't think I'll bother with a video for Samurai Showdown because it's a fighting game and I'm absolutely terrible at it. It will be one of the worst videos you have ever seen in your life. But yeah, so like I was looking through the store and you've got stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2 and it's, you know, it's full price, it's £55, it's so I don't think I'd feel comfortable paying £55 for a game that's on their server in the middle of wherever, to the point where, oh, the servers went down, your game's gone, or, you know, Stadia shuts down, your game's gone. But maybe that's just me being old. I don't know, or not willing to get on board with the future. But yeah, the one other game that I'm really tempted that looks really cool and is actually a Stadia exclusive is GYLT, like GYLT. It's £30 though, and I'm having a hard time trying to decide if I should buy it or not. So if you guys want to see footage of that game, maybe me playing through it or something, definitely let me know in the comments, and maybe that'll push me to go and buy it. But as of right now, I'm really torn between whether I should or not. And yeah, so I think I've rambled on enough about Stadia. I mean, I'll give a quick summary. Like, I'm really impressed with the input lag. I can't figure out why my resolution won't stay as high as it should. The 60 frames on Destiny, for example, is really nice because if you were a console player before, obviously you're locked at 30. And just overall, yeah, I'm really impressed. I mean, I came in with really low expectations, but I was really impressed with it. But as I've said a couple times now, the main thing is your internet is going to is the biggest factor on what your experience with this would be. If you have poor internet or middling internet, it won't be as good as people with the high internet, and vice versa. Your high internet, you'll have a much better experience than the people with the poor internet. And obviously if you have lots of people in your house that want to stream Netflix and Amazon and Disney Plus and all that kind of thing, then that's going to hamper your experience because they're going to be hogging the bandwidth as well as you, and you're going to get into a whole bunch of problems, I would think. So yeah, I mean, we're almost at the end of this strike now. I can't believe I've been rambling on for 13-ish minutes. But yeah, and that's pretty much all of my impressions, I would say. I mean, I guess the Google Pro subscription, hopefully, because right now we only got 2 games. The Destiny 2, the Complete Collection, and Samurai Showdown. I'm not sure if we'll get monthly games, or what, but hopefully, I don't know if those are going to leave, you know, kind of if it's a games with gold type thing. I know as long as you have your subscription, you get to keep the games. If your subscription lapses, you lose them. So if I kept my Pro for a year, I'd still be able to play the whole of Destiny, Samurai Showdown, or whatever. But I don't know if, like, next month, those 2 will go away from being able to be quote-unquote purchased, so like added to your account, and then like maybe 1 or 2 more games will get added in, basically like games with gold or PlayStation Plus. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, hopefully we can get some more single player focused games, because I feel like fighting game is more online based. Could be wrong on that, I don't know, let me know, fighting fans. But I feel like playing people online is kind of the big thing for that, and Destiny is obviously a very online focused game. So it'd be nice to see like a single player focused game get put in there in the maybe next month, and I'll definitely show that off to you guys if that happens. Yeah. So I mean, I'll leave you guys to check out the last little bit of this strike, and let me know if you've bought Google Stadia, if you've been playing it, what you think of it. If you haven't bought it, what are your thoughts on the whole streaming video games thing? Let me know all that stuff in the comments below. Give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Give me that sub if you want to see more content. Like I said, definitely let me know also in the comments if you want to see me play GYLT, because that will hopefully help me decide whether I should get it or not. If there's an interest in me actually making videos for it, I will definitely get it. So definitely let me know that in the comments. Subscribe for more content, hit the bell if you want to know when that stuff goes live, and I'll see you guys next time.
Here she comes. Eris, it's over. Hashladoon is dead.
This is a relief to hear. But Hashladoon's presence is no coincidence. The Hive must have grander ambitions for the Pyramid's influences. Return to me. There is much to discuss.